Okay, guys, I think we're going to finish up on these Magnums. This is the fourth cut. Why did I do 4 cuts? Well, I'm pathetic, I guess. I don't know. I was hoping to learn something. And you know what I learned? Put a decent valve job on something first. Don't have the right size pilot. Impossible for me to do, so kind of not good. Okay. But I did what I could with what I got. I believe that looks pretty good in the bowl. Maybe a touch narrower up top than it was, and more sparse on the cut. We got nice splatter by the plug, light splatter all the way around. Let's take a look at the bore. Okay, it goes quite a bit around with some splatter. Hasn't really changed much. Okay, on the valve looks quite good. Got a lot of coverage on the valve. Okay, hopefully you guys can see where the blue is on that chamber cut. And decent amount of splatter right around here. Okay, down its throat. Looks fairly good, even though our angle has straightened up quite a bit. Now, I think the reason it's straightened up is, according to the air speeds, I added some area. You'll see our straight wall is definitely straighter than it was. The roof had a little bit of metal taken out of it. A chunk of dirt was bothering me. The wall on the left, that I can't focus on, that had some metal taken out of it. Okay. I gave it a little more area on the floor of the divided wall and the center of the divided wall, because I thought it needed it. The center of the cylinder roof got some work, and that whole wall actually came out a little bit. This is probably a little bit bigger port than the last time you saw it. Definitely added a few cc's. I took quite a bit of metal out of it. And I think we're at the point now, in order to get anything else out of it, you really got to make the whole port bigger. Okay, if you're sharp, you'll notice what I did with the short side radius. We took some of the apex off on one side to cause it more flow to go to that area. Was it completely successful? No. Did it help? Yes. We'll see when we get to the flow numbers. That's still not ridiculously thin. It's still more than serviceable the way it is right now. Okay, tough to see, but that center of the cylinder wall, because it's a weird design, right? It's really wide at the floor and it's really narrow up top. I think I know what they were trying to do. They're trying to keep the air speeds relatively even from the top to the bottom, and not completely successful, you know. But works for a stock application, I have no doubt. We're trying for quite a bit more than these were designed for stock. These flowed what, 217 stock on my bench with worn out valves? Okay, so we're doing quite a bit better with the same size valve. Okay, I'm going to try to get this done with the straight edge again. We're something right about like that. I don't know if you guys can see that die. Kind of follows that. Okay. Okay, this was the last one you saw, third cut, versus this one. Right? Did a little bit of work on the bowl, a little bit of work on the short side radius, a little bit of work on the pinch, a little bit of work on the roof. So we added a few cc's, there's no doubt about it. But did it help? Did it make it a happier port? Well, let's find out. Remember, I was working off these numbers as far as air speeds. Actually, it were these numbers on the floor here. Right? That short side was too fast. I tried to lower that down. Too fast on the one side of the roof, center of the cylinder roof. And the pinch right in the middle was a little too fast. So I tried to make all of those better. Let's see if we were successful. Let's finish the flows first, right? We got plus, 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 plus. Just cracked 200, which is respectable for that size valve. We did do better than that earlier, though, right? 214.8, 230.6, 255, 255 at 500. That's a darn good number. Okay, we max out at right around here somewhere. It was just a touch more, almost 265, right? But it's good, except for we lost in one spot. Over here, we had 265.3. I think it was close to that, but not quite. So overall, it's a relatively happier port, even though it's a little bit bigger. Take a look at what happened with our swirl, right? This swirl versus this swirl. Minus, 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 and then it starts to gain. By the time we're 600, we have more than enough. In fact, we got a decent amount at 350. Okay, this is a relatively good curve. That would make nice power, I have no doubt. Let's see if we did any better on our airspeeds. Minus, minus, plus. Were they closer than over here? Pretty close, pretty close. Okay, as far as the roof, 251, 245. Lost a little bit there, lost a little bit on the straight wall. I remember I wound up giving it more area on both of those. And our pinch, that was way too, our short side was way too fast. Guess what? Still too fast. It actually got faster in the center. And I did a little string action, and you can see that does have the vane in the floor. Let's take a look at that. Okay, tough to get the light where you guys can see it, but you can see it's got a floor vane. I didn't use the real small burr and get that corner because I don't care. But that short side got widened quite a bit. Okay, you can see that the angle is quite a bit changed versus the original. See how flat the original is? It's got quite a bit of an angle on it. And that was all done to equalize the speeds across it. Part of me wants to take that vane right out and see if it improves. I don't know if it will or not. Floor vanes are very, very tricky, and they're very hard to make. To cut a vane into a casting that doesn't have one and get them all the same is very tricky. It's hard to do. I have done it before, and it has worked. But usually special application. Okay, the pinch didn't get any more work since last time you've seen it. Okay, this side I took a little area out. Okay, a little bit different view of that bowl. Overall, 265. I guess I could see this if somebody really, really wanted me to. But you guys know how much I hate to see stuff. Kind of interested in how much is left. In reality, I don't feel like I took a lot of metal out of this port. If it's originally 177, maybe it has added 8 cc's, I would guess. Okay? It's still, I'm sure it's less than 200. And at that point, it's pretty close to one of my good fuelies as far as intake airflow. I will tell you from experience, done up fuelies make impressive power. For the size port that they have, and as big as you can make it, they can really move some air. Alright guys. I'm actually quite a few videos ahead, and I need to be this week. I probably will not get much time to be in the garage. Got a bunch of stuff going on. But I'll try to keep putting stuff out if I can. Alright guys, thanks for hanging out. Have a good night.